Yes, coach.
Hey, Sean, you coming over?
Yes, coach.
Alright, cool. Wait, what? Did you just call me coach?
Yes, coach.
And are you speaking in an accent?
Yes, coach.
Okay, so are you coming over?
Yes, coach.
Okay, so you didn't answer my question.
Yes, coach.
I didn't even ask you a question there.
Yes, coach.
You trying to tick me off?
Yes, coach.
What is your problem?
Yes, coach.
Alright, how about if I carve your heart out with a spoon? How'd you like them apples, huh?
Yes, coach.
How about we just shoot an episode of Raptors Space?
Yes, coach. Happy New Year, Raptor Space, Hip Hoop Junkies, and Hoop Heads North. Back at you for another segment. And of course, I'm Sean Francois. We got my man to the right,
Romy Aquino.
and my boy to the left.
Yes, coach.
All right, there it is, U-E Sampang. All right, Raptor Space. So, DeMar DeRozan at the beginning of the year, he told all of us he was going to try and be in the dunk contest this year. And well, that time's come. But there's a caveat.
I know, we got a dunk-in that's going to happen at the rookie-sophomore game. DeMar DeRozan and Eric Gordon are going to go head-to-head to get a chance to go into the competition. What do you think of the whole dunk-in?
I mean, you know, like you were talking about earlier, I just don't understand why there has to be a dunk-in. Like, really, what's the purpose of the dunk-in? What do you
Yes,
think?
coach.
See? Exactly. To me, it should be just select 4 guys, or 5, however many you're going to do,
Right.
and just let them dunk. They have it.
There's a website out too, Let DeMar Dunk. I don't know if you check it out.
I have seen that one.
There's a big highlight reel. They're really pushing to get him in. Him and Shannon Brown. And Shannon Brown's in.
Ooh.
They
Shannon
announced
Brown's
him
a
in.
flyer.
Yeah, Shannon Brown, Nate Robinson, and Gerald Wallace, who is a big game-time dunker. So
Yeah, he really is.
he
I
should
like
be good
that.
for this All-Star weekend.
That's a nice trio, and then whoever ends up being the 4th, that's a
figures.
good group. That's a good group.
I think it should be no contest with DeMar.
Oh my goodness, I think so. I'm interested to see that Friday throwdown.
What do you think?
DeMar to win the dunk contest?
Yes, coach. Okay, guys. It's been a while since we've done a podcast. I mean, or
A vlog, video
a
vlog.
vlog. And I know what we were talking about before. The Raptors were playing horrible. We were hoping that they would just at least get a win against New Jersey.
Yeah, it was the last thing we talked about.
So
on the
that-
18th of December.
Yeah, so it's been about a month, and the Raptors have completely flipped it around, and they've won how many?
10 of the last 13.
Yes, coach. So they went on a 5-game winning streak in December. We've got a win in January against the Spurs, where Bosh went off and he eclipsed Vince Carter's record.
That's right.
We get a big win against the Magic, where they won by 5, and they had a couple losses. One against Boston, which was understandable.
Right, and then the other one against Boston, which wasn't as understandable because of how many guys for the Celtics were out that game.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll chalk that up as just tough to beat the Celtics, I guess.
And that followed up with a loss to Indiana, which every Raptors fan thought they had in the bag, and then they just collapsed in the second half.
Si, senor coach.
And that's exactly what happened. They did. They fell apart, but they got it back on track and won the next 2, including yesterday's game, well, the last game, against the Dallas Mavericks. Huge win, 22-point victory at home. I don't know what more you can ask for. I think that might have been the Raptors' best effort this season.
And what do you think's changed in this last month? Like, we got Jarrett Jack at the point guard position. Like,
That's right.
He's gotten the start ever since Jose went down.
That's right.
And it seemed to work out. And we got Andre Bargnani, who's playing really well.
Yeah, one of these games, it was during the loss to Indiana. In Indiana, I believe he had 17 rebounds that game.
Yes,
coach. It was in a losing effort, but 17 rebounds. I mean, that's what we've been preaching and harping at him to do all year long.
Yeah,
and he pulls it out, so he's capable.
Yeah, and when they played the Knicks Italian Heritage Night, he had a huge first half. I know Italy was watching this game because you got Gallinari, Bellinelli, who didn't play, but Bargnani played, and he put on the show.
Yeah, so that was great to see for sure.
And the Raptors right now have a winning record, and they're 21-20.
And we are now officially at the halfway mark of the season, 41 games in for an 82-game schedule, and like you say, sitting just above 500. Didn't know that we were going to see that based on the first month and a half of the season.
No.
But
yes, coach.
I tell you,
yes,
we've
coach.
really come around. So I'm hoping that the rest of January, February, March, leading into April, be putting ourselves in a good position to continue to move up the ranks of the Eastern Conference, because I believe the Raptors are 6th spot now in the East.
I think
they're maybe 5th.
They're 6th, and they're tied with Miami. So
Okay.
Yes, coach.
Perfect. So
they're where they want to be. I mean, those guys at the top are
going to be a tough.
going to be there.
Yes,
a tough
coach.
group. A tough group to beat. But you're right. We're looking all right for sure going into the home stretch. And another big event that happened in Toronto Raptors history over the holiday break when we were off was Chris Bosh eclipsing Vince Carter's previous record of 9,420 points and breaking that record in the game against the San Antonio Spurs to become the all-time Raptors leading scorer in history. And pretty impressive when you think about that Vince Carter had held that record for such a long time, and now Chris has kind of gotten to that point himself.
Yeah, that puts him up there. I mean, it's going to be a debate soon, like whether Vince Carter or Chris Bosh was the greatest Raptor ever. If we see Chris Bosh extend his career in Toronto, there'll be no doubt that he'll be one of the greatest Raptors to play.
Absolutely.
And it'd be nice to see him hit the 10,000 mark
Be awesome.
as a Toronto Raptor.
Now, with that said, the Toronto Raptors would have to, I think, advance a little further in the playoffs for Chris to have that status kind of, be cemented without any further question among any other Raptors as to, who is kind of like, the top of the heap. But you're right. Just based on what he's done as far as individual contributions, he's at the top of the list right now.
And hopefully we'll see him do it this season. The way they're playing now, I can see them going into the second round.
Absolutely.
I mean, past the second round, depending
see.
who they face, but if they're faced off against a Miami or
even on Orlando, I think that they match up okay. It would just be a matter of what they do come that time of year,
Yes, coach.
Exactly.
Yes, coach.
So with that said, Mr. Sampang has something he'd like to say to the Raptors Nation, Raptor Spacer specifically.
Speaking about keeping Chris Bosh in Toronto, since this is our first show of the new year, I'm putting this out to all the Raptor Spaces out there, to Akil, Raptor Space Cat, Mo Verney, all those people.
Mr. Baller, Pete Dizzle.
We got a call out
The
called
Rook.
CB4 First Free Agent Inked. We want him to be the first free agent inked this NBA offseason, and us Raptors fans have to do what we can to get him to stay in Toronto. We're thinking, Blake Harrington style skits. That's one of Chris Bosh's characters on his first agent. What is it?
First
Ink duty. It's Blaine Harrington, not Blake Harrington, but that's okay.
Oh yeah,
that's all right.
So you decide to talk now.
Yeah, exactly. Now
this is what happens when I decide to talk. I screw it all up.
Man.
So yeah, skits, music videos, anything you guys can come up with. Funny, it can be emotional about how he moved you to become a really big Raptors fan or whatever. But yeah, anything you got. We have stuff ourselves in store to come up, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
And on that note, Raptor Space is out, and we're gonna eat some more pizza.
Yes,
Coach.
Yes, coach. He took the bait right there. Yes, coach.
My neck and my back.